Hi guys, today I am back to film some tag videos. Just felt like kind of sitting down and chit-chatting with you guys and kind of just getting to talk. So the first one I'm going to be filming today is the TMI tag, I believe. I was tagged by Beauty Talk with Sam, and I think someone else had mentioned in the comments of a past video that I should do this as well. So I don't remember exactly who said that, but I was kind of tagged twice, and so here we are. So question number one is, what are you wearing? It is my day off of work. I worked a lot last week and had a lot going on, so I am just wearing sweats. I have a black Aeropostale hoodie on, a mint green tank top underneath, some gray Aeropostale sweatpants, and that's really it. It's just lazy day for me, so that's kind of why. Number two, ever been in love? I would say yes for that. I do kind of personally believe that there are different, obviously, kinds of love. So, you know, I love my son, I love my boyfriend, but the love is, you know, obviously different. So, yes, I would say I've been in love with my boyfriend, and I do obviously, like, love my son more than anything in the whole world, so depending on, I guess, kind of what kind of love you are talking about, I would say I'm in love both ways, I guess. Three, have you ever had a terrible breakup? Yes and no. Like, my boyfriend that I'm with now, we have been together for the majority of 10 years. There were a couple times where we broke up, and I remember the one time breaking up with him, I couldn't find him because he was kind of going through this thing where when we had just had our son, he was, you know, obviously freaked out, and he kind of ran away from home all the time. I don't know how to explain it, but like, I was home taking care of the baby all the time, he was gone a lot, so, and I was just very frustrated. I was like, you know, this isn't fair. I have to stay home and take care of him all the time, and you get to run around and just do whatever you want all the time. So I remember one time hunting him down at a gas station and just being like, this is it, I'm done. The gas station clerk, like, probably thought I was completely insane. But, I mean, that was a nasty breakup, and it was public. Luckily, the gas station, I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that, so there was, like, nobody else in there, but it was kind of nasty. And then, of course, like, people that we were friends with and stuff kind of started to get involved, and it was just like, this is ugly. 4, how tall are you? I'm only like 5'2", I think. I'm pretty sure I'm like 5'2". Last time I went to the doctor, I'm pretty sure that's what they had said. 5, how much do you weigh? That varies, but I think it's normally about 125, 130. 6, any tattoos? No, but I have seriously like 10 that I would love to get. A little bit of a chicken when it comes to needles and stuff. My boyfriend has one, and, you know, he's like, oh, it was nothing. I actually almost like fell asleep during mine, and I'm like, what? Like, they're jabbing you with a needle and you like fell asleep. But I do kind of plan to get one at least in the next year or so, just because, you know, it's something that I've wanted to do for myself, and it's something that I haven't done. I told myself when I turned 23 that I was gonna like make that year be a little bit more about myself and try to like do more things for myself, and it didn't really go that way. So I'm still kind of like more pacing myself, but I'm kind of like, you know, every once in a while I need to do something just for me, and whether it's a tattoo or, you know, new pair of shoes, something, like I have to do something for myself once in a while. So I don't have any right now, but I foresee some in the future. Any piercings? My nose. I did just take out my cartilage piercing. I actually have the little hoop right here. I couldn't do this anymore. I had this since like 7th or 8th grade, and it was fine. I liked the way it looked, but honestly, sleeping on it was just a huge pain. I had originally had a stud in there. It hurt terribly. It hurt horribly. I could not lay on this side of my head at all. I switched to the hoop, and it was so much better. But I did have a little bit more of a simplistic hoop. Like this one here, you can kind of see has like little designs on it. I had a very simplistic hoop like what I have in my nose, where it's just a little hoop with a little ball on it, and that was actually pretty comfortable. But then when I switched to this one, it was kind of uncomfortable because I ended up losing the one that was like this for my ear. It just fell out at some point. And it was just like, I'm over it, I'm gonna take it out. I'm probably gonna have to take out my nose ring because it's kind of looking like I may have gotten a second job. And I've mentioned before I'm going back to school and it's going to be accounting, so I'm probably going to have to take this out. which I'm a-okay with. I feel like most people don't even notice that I have a nose ring because mine is so little, I don't know, it's there, but it's like kind of subtle, I guess. I do have this part of my ears pierced, but I rarely ever wear earrings. I just don't, I don't know, I just don't really reach for them, I guess. So, but that is it for piercings. Number 8, OTP. I don't remember exactly what this stands for. I know it's something pairing, and it's like your favorite like couple or whatever. It's kind of a tricky one. I guess I would say, if you've watched the show Pretty Little Liars, I would say Hannah and Caleb. Their relationship, it reminds me so much of my boyfriend and I, in that, like, I was kind of the, in high school, like, somewhat kind of snotty girl a little bit, and he was kind of the bad boy, nobody gives him a chance kind of guy, and, you know, I've learned so much from him, and I feel like he's kind of learned a lot from me, and I feel nice knowing that I've been able to give him things and show him things that other people just haven't even given him the chance to do, or, you know, even believed in him enough to let him do it. So their relationship reminds me a lot of ours in that sense, so I guess I would say they are my OTP. 9 is favorite show. That's really hard. I'm gonna say Pretty Little Liars again because that is definitely a favorite. I love mystery shows, crime shows, that kind of thing, so I do like Criminal Minds, SVU, Law and Order SVU, but you know, I have other things like that 70s show. Like, I'm from Wisconsin, so I don't know why, but I have like a little special place in my heart for that 70s show, plus it's hilarious. I mean, I guess if I had to pick one, I would say Pretty Little Liars because that one is really probably my favorite. 10 favorite bands. This is another like really hard one to pick just one, but I'm gonna say In This Moment because they're the only band that I have seen multiple times. I think last year was the year that we saw them 3 times, I believe, 2 or 3 times. But anyways, I went to a lot of their concerts, so you know, I went through a little phase where I was like, just want to go to all of their concerts. So while they were in the area, I went to 3 different ones. There was one where they actually came to, you know, a city that's only 30 minutes away, but it was a huge like festival thing, and I was just like, I'm not gonna, I don't know, I didn't really feel like standing there all day, see bands. Some of them I wanted to see, some of them I didn't, and I was like, I've seen them 3 times. One of them was at Chicago at the House of Blues, which was amazing. That show was just awesome. But anyways, I guess I would say they're my favorite band. I do have like a lot of other bands and stuff I like too. The only one I can really think of that I feel like kind of competes with them would be Hailstorm and Voltbeat. Yeah, and I would say that's kind of, I guess, it. But those are kind of 2 other favorites. 11, something you miss. I miss, this is going to sound really stupid, but I kind of miss not having so much stress. I feel like the older I get, the more stressed out I am getting about, you know, bills and everything, kind of getting, you know, I don't know, getting somewhere, I guess. I feel like I'm kind of staying in place and I want to start moving forward with my life. Because, you know, I'm looking back at even last year, we have season passes to the Six Flags and located close to Chicago. It's technically Gurnee, but we have Six Flag season passes, and last summer, you know, I worked a lot and I didn't have quite as many bills and stressful things going on, so like we were able to take those season passes and enjoy them so much, I feel like. And this summer, you know, all I'm thinking about is like, oh man, I'm gonna get a second job, like I'm gonna have all this money, we're gonna do this and this and this. But it's not like fun stuff with the money. It's like, I'm gonna, you know, take the money and I'm gonna pay off my credit card and cancel it. I'm gonna pay off my car and I'm gonna, you know, do all this stuff. And it's not fun stuff. So I'd kind of miss like not having so much responsibilities and just getting to kind of enjoy time with my family and just, you know, getting to do things that we always like to do together. Because I mean, we've had season passes for almost as long as I can pretty much remember. I know that like 4th or 5th grade, I think, is when we really started getting them like every year. And I mean, that's just something that my mom's side of the family, we always do. We always get season passes for the summer. And we go, you know, several times and whatnot. So I mean, it's just something like that where I'm like, I miss us getting to just go do those family trips and stuff, and, you know, here I'm just thinking about life stuff. So that's kind of something I'm missing. Favorite song? So I'm just gonna say the song that has the most kind of meaning to me, I guess, because there's way too many songs that I would say are my favorite. So the song that has the most meaning for me would actually be Hinder Lips of an Angel. The reason for that being is that is kind of, for me and my boyfriend, it's just a special song in our relationship. It was the first concert we went to together. It was kind of, for me, I think it was one of the first times that I realized like how much I love and care about him. So for me, it was kind of a special night. But anytime that song comes on, I turn into a big baby and start crying, and my boyfriend kind of laughs a little bit, but I kind of know he's like low-key trying not to cry too. I actually caught him almost crying the other day when it came on, so that was kind of interesting. 13, how old are you? I'm pretty sure I'm 24. This is going to sound really bad, but I have a horrible time of keeping track of how long my relationship has been going on and how old I am. I can keep track of everybody else but myself. I have no idea why. The only reason I can remember that we've almost been together 10 years is because it's kind of a monumental number, but for the longest time I was like, oh yeah, we've been together 8 years. My boyfriend's been like, it's only been 7. And I'm like, I don't know, I think it's 8. I just have a horrible time keeping track of that stuff sometimes. 14, zodiac sign. I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head, I guess. My birthday is October 23rd, so I don't, for some reason I can't remember right now. 15, quality you look for in a partner. I need somebody that can make me laugh. To be honest, I know it's kind of stupid, but I tend to get very in my own head, and like I said, lately I've been very stressed out. So anytime that I get to just take a day and spend with my boyfriend and my son, who to me are very hilarious, is great, because it kind of makes me break out of that like stressed out moment. Like it just kind of makes me more calmed, more relaxed, and just kind of forget about that stuff. So I personally need that because I tend to get very stressed out. So I don't want someone else that is going to be like kind of more uptight and kind of stressed out, and I don't want someone like me, essentially. I want someone that's a little bit more fun and kind of, in a way, the opposite of me. 16, favorite quote. There's a couple different ones. The ones is, without the darkness we would never see the stars. And there's also one that's kind of similar that has to do with a caterpillar and a butterfly, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's when the caterpillar thought the world was, just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it turned into a butterfly. And a lot of those are just, you know, me kind of reminding myself, like, yes, things are tough at times, but like you do need to like take a second, look back at the good moments, appreciate the things you have, that kind of thing. Because it can be very hard for me sometimes to not appreciate what I have and to keep looking forward at like what I want. And I think sometimes I just don't take enough time to appreciate the stuff around me, and just, like I said, tunnel vision, focused on what I want. So, favorite actor? I don't really feel like I have one. I think that if, you know, I had to choose between meeting an actor and meeting a musician, I would probably choose meeting a musician over meeting an actor. And I mean, there are tons of bands that I would love to meet, so it's kind of a long list, but I mean, I have met, I shouldn't even say met, I have come within less than 10 feet of Jacoby, from the lead singer of Papa Roach, twice. One time was at a concert, he came into the audience, he was like less than 10 feet away. The other time was at Disneyland. I was gonna say hi, I was gonna take a picture with him, or ask to take a picture with him, but I mean, he was there with his family and his little kids, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna bother him. 18, favorite color. My favorite color is definitely red. My bedroom when I was a teenager used to be red. I mean, it's just always been my favorite color. So, 19, loud music or soft. Loud, I just feel like a lot of times that's the way music is meant to be listened to. Sometimes, you know, I get it, there are softer songs and they could be played a little quieter and it comes out a little bit better that way, but for the most part I feel like, you know, the high energy songs and stuff like that, they're meant to be played loud and kind of enjoyed. And music is another thing too that I feel like kind of breaks me out of any kind of stress that I'm having, or, you know, that kind of thing. So I usually like my music more loud. 20. Where do you go when you're sad? I guess a couple places. One being my room. I just want kind of away from everybody. I don't really want to be around people because when I'm sad, I do suffer from depression, so I feel like when I'm sad, it's not good. It's usually pretty bad. So I try to kind of distance myself from other people because I don't want them to see me like that. I don't really like feeling that way as it is, so I don't like to kind of feel like I'm, you know, putting out this distressful, depressing kind of vibe, I guess. So I'm just kind of like, I just kind of stay in my room. Otherwise, another thing that I like to do is I actually like to go to, my grandpa. He passed away when I was in kindergarten, but he was seriously one of my favorite people in the entire world. So a lot of times when I'm feeling sad too, I will go to his grave. His grave is pretty far away. I think it's about an hour and 20 minutes. So, I mean, it's kind of got to be a special day trip, but every once in a while I feel like kind of making it and, you know, going. So that's another place that I do like to go when I'm sad, but it's like with it being far away, it doesn't happen very often. So those are kind of two places I would say. 21. How long does it take you to shower? It depends. There are days where I'm like, I need like a break. So I take, you know, a longer shower, and even then I think it's only usually 30-35 minutes. But I'm usually a get in and get out kind of person, so it actually only takes me, I would say, 15-20 minutes most of the time. So yeah, I don't really actually spend that long in the shower most of the time. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? So that takes me at least probably 45 minutes. I would say about half an hour of it is spent on makeup, 5-10 minutes on my hair. I actually really don't spend that much time on my hair. And then, like, you know, another 5-10-ish minutes getting dressed, depending on whether I have my clothes picked out or not, you know. And sometimes it's like I have an outfit picked out in my mind, but like I can't find like the tank top that I want, or, you know, something like that. So sometimes I gotta hunt for it a little bit more. But I would say probably like 45 minutes. There are things like special occasions where it takes me closer to an hour, because I want to like put in the extra effort and stuff, but most of the time 45 minutes on a day-to-day basis. So 23, ever been in a physical fight? No, not that I can recall. I mean, you know, me and my cousin are very close. We grew up in pretty much, we're like little sisters, or sisters to each other, I should say, through our whole childhood. So, I mean, we fought like sisters do, but I mean, I don't think there was anything super physical. I remember one time I did not want her to sit next to me in the car, and I laid down on the seat, and she decided she was going to sit on my face because she was like, I don't care, I'm sitting next to you. And when she sat on my face, I bit her. So she had a huge bruise on her butt from me biting her. So I mean, there's stuff like that, like her pulling my hair and whatnot, but like never an actual fight, I don't think. It's just always been little things like that. So that's the closest I've ever come to a physical fight. 24, turn on. I love when someone is genuinely just very kind to other people. Kind of another little backstory, my boyfriend has suffered from depression as well. And, you know, in the last about year and a half, he got help for kind of his issues, and it was just so interesting to see how he has changed, because he is such a nice person. I'm not even joking. We will go to a restaurant, and, you know, it'll be me and him walking in, and there'll be a group of like 10 people behind us that are going to go walk in, and I will, you know, hold the door open for me. I'll walk in. I turn around to talk to him, and the 10 people that were walking in behind us are all coming in, and he still hasn't come in yet because he held the door open for all the 10 of those people. Or, you know, like we were at the pet store, and the kids behind us were getting a goldfish for the first time, and he was like chit-chatting with them about goldfish and like how our son has fish, and, you know, like he's just so cute when he is just being kind to other people. And I can't believe sometimes the things that he does. Like, I mean, he's the kind of person that would see a homeless person and give them $20 because he just genuinely cares and just wants to. It amazes me. It genuinely does. So, I mean, for me, that's a huge kind of turn on, because I didn't realize, you know, that was kind of, I guess, in him, because the depression, you know, he kept to himself a lot. So, I mean, just seeing that come out, it was really nice, and it's been kind of a nice change. So, turn off. Turn off, I would say, and this is kind of funny because my boyfriend does this too, is I do not like smoking. I put up with it, but I really could easily do without it. I don't get it. I don't like smelling like cigarettes. I don't like him smelling like cigarettes. It's kind of a waste of money. But I get, you know, he's got to do what makes him less stressed out and whatever makes him happy. Obviously it's bad for his health, and I know he wishes to quit. It's obviously difficult, but yeah, it's kind of a turn off because it's, in my opinion, kind of gross. So 26, the reason I joined YouTube. So I would say the main reason is I had my blog before I had YouTube. I was doing my Project Pan updates on there, but I just found, you know, I really wanted to talk more when I was doing my updates, and I don't mind typing, but I mean, it gets tiresome, especially when you're not used to it. So I felt like I would have more fun filming updates and uploading them that way than, you know, sitting out and typing everything out. My blog was fun because I felt like I could just randomly upload little chit-chatty things. Like, I know one time I was like, oh, I'm changing my hair color, like, what should I do? And people were like, oh, do this, do this. You know, and I'm like, now I would never make a video like that. Like, I would feel like that was a waste of a video. So like my blog was fun, and like I could upload little things like that or post little things like that. But YouTube, I enjoy it so much more because I can talk. There's more of a community, more of a friendship, more of a connection this way. So I definitely enjoyed YouTube a little bit more. I mean, honestly, I don't even remember the last time I posted on my blog. So it's been a while. 27, fears. Honestly, losing people for me is the biggest thing. I hate to say it, but I think it's kind of because of my depression. I really depend on people a lot. Not necessarily for my own happiness, but just they're like a security blanket for me, at least. In like a sense of like I like to have them around and to know that they're okay and that they're happy. And my grandma is kind of the same way. She is very like, she's not happy unless everyone else is happy kind of thing. But I don't know, it's just, I can't, like, the thought of losing people really tears me apart inside. Like, it really makes me anxious and on edge and almost want to start like crying and screaming a little bit because it's like, I don't want that to happen. So that would probably be, I guess, my biggest fear. 28, last thing that made you cry. Again, with the depression thing, I have just been very stressed out about trying to buy this house. We have this house picked out, we want it, we don't quite have enough money for it though. The bank can't give us quite as big of a loan as we need, we don't quite have as big of a down payment as they would want then, and I'm just stressed out about money a lot lately. So with this whole situation, because work was scheduling me a lot, now they're kind of cutting back my hours again. Working at Ulta is only part-time unless you're management, which would be full-time. I think some of the salon people can be full-time, and I think that if you have an Ulta location with like a Lancome counter or something like that, there's opportunities to be full-time there, but ours doesn't have that. So my position's only part-time, so it's like, you know, trying to buy a house and everything, it's just been stressful. So I was crying the other day because I'm like, man, I just want to move forward and like get somewhere in life, kind of. I know that sounds really kind of stupid, but you know, it's just like, to be 24 and to not have a house of your own is very, very frustrating. At least for me. And I've noticed, I've seen a lot more people on my Facebook friends list that I've graduated high school with buying houses. And I've actually, there's one girl on my high school friends list that has bought 2 houses now. And I'm just like, I want that so bad. You know, and that's part of me getting a second job and that kind of thing, and going back to school. But it's hard. It's definitely stressed me out, and it's made me cry a little bit and get a little bit more emotional than maybe I should be, but yeah, that was the last thing that made me cry. 29, last time you said you loved someone. When I dropped my son off for school this morning, he was having a rough morning, did not want to go to school, which, you know, he's only got, I think, like a week left after this week. and he's got Memorial Day off. He's got a field trip to the zoo in 2 days. I'm like, you can do this, dude. Like, you got a couple days. You can do this. And I was just like, you know, I love you a lot, and I'm really sorry. I know you're really mad at me for making you go to school, but I'm like, I love you. So, yeah, he was the last person I said I love you to. 23, meaning behind your YouTube name. Just pretty much what it says, eat, sleep, makeup, because for the longest time, it's felt like that's what my life was. Eating, sleeping, and buying more makeup, or playing with makeup, or talking about makeup. You know, now that I'm getting a little older, I feel like my life priorities have changed a little bit, because I'm more focused on, obviously, like, wanting life things, and wanting less makeup, which is something that I want to talk about in a video, you know, possibly doing like a low buy and that kind of thing, but I will save that for another video because this one is already pretty long. 31, last book you read. I honestly can't remember. I used to love reading for fun. I had so many books. I used to have like tons of the Nancy Drew ones. My grandma would purposely go out to garage sales and find them for me and buy them. So I have a ton of Nancy Drew books. I don't even remember all the books. I guess the last book I read, and honestly, not even for my own enjoyment, but to my son, because we read bedtime books every night, except for last night I had to work, so I didn't read him one. I read him a Avengers Hero book. So that was the last book I read, which sadly was not really for my enjoyment, but for his. So that was the last book I read. 32, the book you're currently reading. I am currently not reading any books just because as much as I love reading, I just don't feel like I have time for it right now. I want to get back into it and get a couple books and start reading again, but I just really haven't had the time, so yeah. 33, last show you watched. That 70s show, I'm watching it on Netflix. I think I'm on season 4 right now. I don't know. I'm realizing, like, now watching them, though, that I have seen most of the episodes. I had kind of always thought there was, like, you know, a lot that I was missing, but I'm realizing not really. I know I'm not going to like the last season because I'm thinking that's the one where Eric leaves and that other guy comes in. That one I, like, purposely tried to miss that season. So I know I'm not going to like the last season very much, but I do kind of want to see it and see how the show ends. So, last person you talked to, I talked to my cousin Summer. Hi, because she's probably watching this, or maybe she's not, because she always complains my videos are too long. But anyway, she is like my little sister, so she's the last person I talked to. She just called to talk to me about shampoo and conditioner because since I have my license, I recommend hair products for my family. So, yep. 35. The relationship between you and the last person you texted. So let's see who I last texted. It was my boyfriend because I got done with work at 10 o'clock last night and I was supposed to be done at 9:30. And he's like, oh, so you're just leaving work now? And I'm like, yeah, sleepy face. Because I'm like, I am so tired. I totally wore the wrong shoes to work last night and it felt like I was walking around barefoot all day, which sounds comfortable in theory, but it was really, really bad. Like, by the end of my shift, my back hurt so horribly bad. I was so ready to go home. So after that, yeah, I was tired. But obviously he's my boyfriend, so that is our relationship. 36, favorite food. This is kind of another tough one. If you were to ask me maybe a year or two ago, I would say mac and cheese, for sure. But this last year, I have gotten into pizza so much. And it's not healthy. Like, it's not good. My favorite pizza is Hawaiian pizza. So, you know, Canadian bacon or ham. And pineapple. And then my boyfriend actually likes to get bacon on it too. But, yeah, I can kind of do without the bacon. The other one I really like is, there's this pizza place called Toppers. I think they're a national chain, I would think. They have a, like, chicken barbecue pizza. That one's phenomenal too. I love the weird pizzas. There used to be a really great pizza place where I went to cosmetology school, and their chicken Alfredo pizza was amazing. Their mac and cheese pizza was amazing. They even had some really weird ones, but they were all really, really good. So pizza, it's kind of been my favorite food this last year. 37, place you want to visit. Number one on my list is Paris, of course. Like, I've always wanted to go to France, but I also kind of have at second place anywhere kind of more like tropical. I don't know if tropical is really maybe the right word, but I wouldn't mind going to like the Caribbeans or something like that. Just somewhere with a nice beach and something, you know, where it's nice and I can just relax for a little while, because that is another vacation I think I would like. I think a lot of times when I take vacations, I end up taking them more for fun and rather for like the relaxing part. So to take a relaxing vacation would actually be pretty nice too. Let's see here. I accidentally went back. Last place you were. So I don't know, I mean, like technically I took my son to school this morning. So like that's the last place that I like left the house and went. But the last place, like if we're talking like the last trip I took, that was obviously LA, and that was fantastic. I definitely want to do that again. But maybe go longer, because I think we went 4 or 5 days, and I'd really would be happy going like a week or two, because I would like to make, you know, Disneyland a couple days of a trip rather than just going one day, because there's so much to do and it's so busy. And then we actually went during the off season, so it was still pretty busy for being like the off season. But that was a fun trip and I definitely want to go again. 39. Do you have a crush? No, just because I have my boyfriend, and then like, you know, if you're talking about like celebrity crushes, I just really don't. I've had them in the past, I guess, but like, I don't know, just as I've gotten older, I haven't really cared as much, I guess. So no to having a crush. 40, last time you kissed someone, same thing, my son, this school, dropped him off, gave him a kiss on the head. You know, if we're talking lips to lips, obviously my boyfriend and I came home last night, gave him a kiss when I came home. 41, last time you were insulted. I can't really think of anything, and I don't really know that this counts as being insulted, but yesterday this girl was like asking if I have to wear makeup because I work at Ulta, and I was like, yeah, it's actually in our dress code that you do have to wear, you know, makeup, and she's like, well, what if you don't want to? And I'm like, well, you know, it's kind of up to the general manager then, I guess, because it's, you know, in the dress code, and if, you know, you were to have like a condition or something where you couldn't wear makeup, our, you know, general manager is going to be understanding of that. Like if you have just like really sensitive skin, or like if I got pink eye, my boss isn't going to make me wear eye makeup, you know. But she was just very, I don't know, kind of confrontational about having to wear makeup, and she's like, I can't believe they tell you you have to wear makeup. And I'm like, well, it's a cosmetic store. And she's like, well, I would use the skincare and the hair care, but I wouldn't use the cosmetics. And I'm just like, okay, like, I don't know, this is getting uncomfortable. So, I mean, didn't really feel insulted, but I was just kind of like, yeah, like, it's a cosmetics store, you have to wear makeup, I don't know what to say. So I didn't really feel insulted, just kind of uncomfortable, I guess. Favorite flavor of sweet. I'm not 100% sure what they mean by that. Do they mean, I'm gonna take a guess, they mean, do you like candy? Do you like sour candy? Do you like, you know, like fruity candy, chocolate? But I'm big on chocolate. I love particularly mostly like baked stuff, like brownies, cookies, cupcakes, all that kind of stuff. Like I'm more into that kind of thing. A cheesecake is one of my like favorite things ever. But I do, you know, like if I had to choose between like a chocolate bar or, you know, gummy bears, I'd most likely choose the chocolate bar. But there are some times, you know, I would choose the gummy bears. So I'm going to say chocolate, kind of baked stuff is more my favorite kind of sweet. 43, what instruments do you play? I don't play any instruments anymore. I used to play flute when I was in band in 5th and 6th grade. 7th grade I think is the grade that I dropped out. I just had a horrible band teacher, and it just, I mean, some of it was him, some of it was me, but I didn't want to play anymore, so I quit. A lot of my family thinks it was because of him, because they were like, you know, if you'd had a better band teacher, I think you would have stuck with it, and I'm like, maybe, but at the same time, I also kind of felt bored with it, and wasn't really interested to keep pursuing it. Plus, I also felt like progress-wise, I was never moving forward. So I feel like I was always staying the same as a flute player, like I wasn't actually ever getting better. So, 44, favorite piece of jewelry. I mean, there isn't anything that super sticks out as my favorite, I guess. There is a ring that it's just like a little, it almost looks like a little wedding band, but it's got little gems inside of it and they're all different colors, and my son got it for me, not this last year for Christmas, but the year before, and it's just such a cute ring. The only thing is that, you know, obviously it was just like a little cheap gift for him to give me, so if I wear it 2 or 3 days in a row, my finger starts to turn green. Which is weird because the actual ring itself is not like green on the inside or anything like that, which I've had that happen a lot, but it's just such a cute little ring and such a cute little gift that it always makes me think of him. The other thing is, when he was born, someone gave me a little necklace with a baby booty and a little blue stone for a boy, so that was always cute and I wore that for the longest time. And that's still a favorite piece of mine too, just because of the memories and, you know, sentimental value of it, so. 45, last sport you played. I cannot remember. I mean, if the last like sporty thing I guess I could say I did was drove a go-kart. My grandpa bought a go-kart. My son didn't feel comfortable driving it, so I drove it. He sat in between my legs while I drove it. That's like the last like sporty thing that I've done. Otherwise, before that would have been snowboarding. I do have my own snowboard, my own boots and everything. I have not done it for years. I did it a lot more frequently before my son was born, which he's 6 now, so I mean over the last 6 years I've hardly done it. I'm not very good at all because I haven't done it for like 6 years, but I was starting to get good, and then, you know, pregnant, can't go snowboarding anymore, so yeah. Let's see here. 46, last song you sang. Trying to think. Unfortunately, it's a very inappropriate song. The last song I sang, it's from the band Hollywood Undead, and it's a very, not very old song, I should say. It's an older song. My boyfriend and I like to listen to it because it makes us think of high school. So we were listening to this in the car. We were coming back from somewhere. We went to the pet store to get food for the pets, and then we came back, and I think the song is called Everywhere We Go. Otherwise, there was also Bottle and a Gun that we listened to too. Like I said, definitely not the most appropriate song, but it's kind of like a fun like little throwback for us because it makes us think of high school. So yeah, kind of sang that a little bit. 47, favorite chat up line. I definitely don't have one. I think pickup lines are so cheesy and I can't take people serious that use them. If it works for them, good for them, but somebody says one to me and I just can't. I lose it, I start laughing, I can't take them serious. Which I know I said people being funny is kind of, you know, something I look forward in someone, but like that's not really what I had in mind, I guess. 48, have you ever used it? Obviously not, because I don't have a favorite, so. 49, last time you hung out with anyone. This is gonna sound so lame, but I seriously don't really hang out with like people that much. Like I hang out with my family, because my family I seriously could spend all the time in the world with and I don't feel anxious or nervous or anything. But you know, having friends, because of anxiety and depression, it can be kind of hard because people expect you to just go out all the time and that kind of thing, and like I just can't. I'm not gonna lie, it holds me back. And so, you know, I've only had 1 or 2 friends where I felt like they really understood and were like, oh, you're not having a good day, it's okay, we don't have to hang out today, you know, we can hang out another time. And one of my very, very close friends, she actually moved away, so it's very hard because she's one of the only people I would genuinely want to hang out with, and she's so far away I can't do that. So the last time I hung out with anyone, it was probably family. My son had his graduation from kindergarten last Friday, so I mean, I'm gonna take a guess that that's really the last time I hung out with people. You know, and kind of hung out with his teacher and the other parents in the class and stuff, so that's probably really it. Otherwise, you know, hanging out with coworkers at work, but that's about it. Who should answer these questions next? anybody that wants to do it. It is kind of a longer tag, but it is kind of fun to sit down and just chat. My video is 40 minutes long, so I know I'm going to have to edit it down a little bit because I don't think anybody's going to want to watch 40 minutes of this, but we'll see. But yeah, anybody that feels like doing this, I tag you to do it. I can't think of anybody specifically off the top of my head because I don't want to tag anybody that's already done it and kind of that thing. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my answers. I look forward to hearing some of your guys' answers, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.